Hey, I have channel memberships active, and I have 3 active members? Whoa! Look at these cool people. This is gonna be the last time I shit out on my memberships. If you want to become a member, you can. In my last video, I talked about objects and the possibility of things that we could do with these objects. Well, since then, I've come across some more discoveries about objects, and I'll go over them right now. In the world we live in, on Earth, there are rules that we have to abide by. And I'm not talking about policies. I'm talking about the rules of physics, gravity, how we interact with things. Well, Skate 3 has a rule itself. Anything that you can grind, you can hand plant. And I mean anything. Generally, the things that we can hand plant on are usually static, meaning not moving, like a ledge, a rail, or a sandwich. Hey, can someone get that bottle of mayo off that? Thank you. Nasty ass mayo. While we can hand plant things that are not moving, what if we hand plant something that does move? Take this dumpster for example. It got wheels. It can move. You can grind on it. Does that mean you can hand plant it? What? That's what happens? Since I was so excited about my new discovery, I decided to post my findings on Reddit, where I thought I was the first person to do this. However, it looks like Tallymark beat me to the punch again. Oh my god, how many things have you discovered and haven't told anyone? Now I want to talk about things I kind of missed. So you know the method where you kind of have to go across there into a super dude and you can clip to the floor and you're like, yay, I'm here. Well, there's a more consistent method with just a lot more steps. With the original method, you're not guaranteed to fall through the ground every time. With this other one, you have a higher chance to. So remember how I talked about how you place an object right over your head and you can start flying into the sky? Well, during that animation when you get sunk into the ground, you can place a marker. There's actually another use for the prop elevator glitch. So we could phase through the floor, we could phase through the wall. Well, you could phase through the ceiling as well. By stacking props all the way to the top of the ceiling, making it touch, we can then go back to our marker and get into the ceiling. Anyways, let's get back to things that you can do inside the park instead of outside the park. While still sticking to the topic of objects, I know I talked about the object reset speed glitch and how it only works in a park building area. The only reason why I bring it up is because it uses the reset prop option. And because of this, there are other things you can mess around with other objects using this option, such as containers. When containers are dropped from a high height, they tend to bounce. So if you have a setup to where you could run on top of the containers once resetting it and falling, you'll see a little goofy action going on. Also, if you get off your board, you'll get launched forward. A little fun observation I made before we move on. Every park comes with a spawner, but that spawner is not tangible, at least to you. When placing an object on top of the initial spawner, it tends to float on top of it as if it's actually tangible. But when you come out of Park Builder mode, it disappears and the object begins to fall. This next fun thing to do with objects was fan requested from Helix Snake. What I'm showing here is a better example of objects not liking to touch other things. By making a little jail cell for a trash can using rails, and then repeating that process to make a grid, you will now witness a trash can tidal wave. Okay, this next thing is the easiest thing you can do with park building. When working with terrain, you can fine-tune an angle into a position that you want it to be in. However, when the terrain goes past a certain vertical angle, the texture of it begins to change. With this information, you can use this to spice up the environment when building your parks. Another way to spice up your parks is something we call terrain scaling, or the resize glitch. In this game, each object has its own normal, small, and bigger version, all to accommodate of our park building needs. But what if we want to make something smaller, or something bigger, or something even bigger? Well, we have the ability to, by holding down the rotate button, and then spamming the fuck out of your stick. Eventually, you'll see the object shrinking or getting larger. But be careful when it gets bigger, because eventually it'll just disappear. You can also warp the terrain. To do this, just have it angled, delete it, and then hit undo. Here's some more terrain fun. An elevator. Just like an object, skaters don't like touching other objects too. So if you squeeze yourself between two walls, and then jump, You will then have a physics elevator. This too also works in a horizontal direction. That's that.
What the fuck? Whoa. Holy shit, that was high.
Oh, what the fuck?
TP'd me. Fuck.
What the fuck?
Whoa!
What?
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 I did it.
If you still happen to have DLC, you are able to access more objects and terrain, such as the green screen and blue screen. By changing the color of the blue screen in particular, you're able to make it completely black. This also means you can create completely voided skate parks and skate around in them. Check out this black hole of a park. Now, for the most biggest and most useful glitch ever discovered in Skate 3 park building, this glitch is simply called the merge glitch. In Skate 3, you can merge up to 3 items in particular. Any more the game won't allow you to. And when I mean merge, I mean at a singular point. Otherwise, you couldn't make things that look like this.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
So to create beautiful parks looking like this, we use the merge glitch. It's a lengthy process and it varies from console to console. To avoid any failures, we gotta make sure we have some safety precautions. First, create a new map. Make sure collision is off. Then you wanna save that map. Then you wanna be extra sure and make sure that there is a loading symbol on the bottom of your screen. So complete a challenge or edit your skater. Now this is where it gets different. On 360, you wanna go to storage devices and then pick the hard drive or storage device where you have Skate 3 on and then clear system cache. This resets the game to a 1.0 version of the game. You then want to load up Skate 3 and ignore any updates that the game wants you to do. Then go to your park and start merging. Now for PS3, you're going to have to make a few sacrifices. But don't worry, you're going to have to re-download them anyways. What's the point of that? Once you re-download your DLCs, it forces the game to go back into a 1.0 version of the game, which then you would deny the update again. Unfortunately, this does not work on Xbox One or Series X. Using this merge glitch, you can do cool things such as making up your own artificial spotlight. With the power of the merge glitch, you can black out the background and then create a spotlight, creating a nice nighttime effect. Now here's a bit of an odd property when it comes to merging things. Props and terrain do not merge, but when you have the merge glitch activated, you can merge a terrain into a terrain, but you can't move a prop into a terrain. However, you can move a terrain into a prop? Transitive properties clearly not working here. Even if you group them together, you still can't merge with other terrain. You can only add more terrain with the terrain that is grouped with the prop. When online, you can do the Skydive glitch by abusing markers. This exploits spectating people by placing markers underground. You can also do this offline while park building, but needing the merge glitch activated. First, fill up the prop meter to avoid crashing. Then you're going to need to sink the initial spawner into the ground to where the arrow is slightly above the ground itself. Then exit out and go to your marker. You should be twitching out, all you have to do is bail and you'll get sent sky high. This method is so much more effective than the online version. Are you tired of seeing the plain blue sky everywhere you go? How about you just remove it?
Estos putos que solo andan chingando, mejor les parto su madre.
Simply create a new park and then do the resize glitch on the initial spawn point. You know you got it when the game starts lagging. Once that happens, you exit out and you would notice that you're in a black void. Go into park builder mode and your sky should turn black. You can then save that park, reload back into it, see a black void, move to a different area, and that area's sky should be black. But when doing this glitch, make sure not to make it too big, even though you can't see the size of it, otherwise your game might freeze. Okay. In modern day gaming with lots of microtransactions and DLCs, not everyone is going to dump their life savings into every game they play. That's why when you run into someone or something that has DLC, your game won't break. In Skate 3's case, however, if you don't have the DLC, you will never see the DLC. That's why, if you don't have any DLC and you go online, you'll see a bunch of default skaters. This also applies to created parks. If you don't have DLC and you get moved to a park that has DLC, you will simply just get booted out of the lobby. To bypass this, you simply just sign out of Xbox Live or PSN once the screen goes black from the countdown. You will then be put into the park, but it will have the missing DLC, and you can't play online with people. A little warning is that you can't immediately edit the park. You have to save the park and then load back into it. Now for another non-DLC glitch that you can do, if you don't have any user-generated graphics like I do because the Skate 3 website has been down since 2013, rest in peace, then you can't apply your own branding to skate parks that you have created. However, there is a way to steal other people's graphics. By downloading a park that has user-generated graphics and includes DLC parts, you can steal their graphic. By uninstalling the DLC that was in that park, You can then build your park that allows you to have your own user-generated graphics under branding, and then move location to that said park that has the branding and DLC. Since you don't have the DLC, you won't move to the park. However, the graphic from that park will be put into the park that you are currently in. This next glitch allows you to have your created park out of bounds. It's kind of similar to the merge glitch setup, but this time you want to make sure you reinstall every DLC besides After Dark. First, you want to create a park in the downtown create a park area. You more or less want to create your park in the lower right quadrant of the park, because if you go more to the top left, you won't be able to use it. Make sure you have your initial spawner in the center of the map. Once you're done creating your park, you want to add a After Dark DLC part. Okay, hold on, let me go fix that real quick. Now that I'm done with the challenges, let's get on with the glitch. Now, place the After Dark DLC terrain and save the park. Once saving your skate park, you then want to exit the game. Then you want to go and make sure you go back to the 1.0 version of the game, meaning clearing your cache, deleting all DLCs, making sure After Dark is still uninstalled. You want to boot up the game, create a new park at Team HQ, and then move to that park you just created at downtown. The game will notice missing DLC, so it won't take you there. Hit yes and you should see a flash notification about downloading DLCs. To get to your park, you have to go to challenges and activate one of the training courses for park building. You want to make sure you hit teleport and not sign up. Once you're in the map, you'll notice the park will be empty. However, if you go to this corner and do the underground glitch, open up your replay editor, you'll see your park. With that, you can then save that park and name it something else. Reload the map and you'll be in the park out of bounds. If you go into the park builder mode, you'll just get sent into the map. Just like the merge glitch, this is not possible on modern day consoles. Here's a neat trick. Let's bring this skate park into the overworld. And yes, you should be able to do this on every console, but you're gonna have to make more sacrifices. Prior to deleting your DLC, you need to have a park that has DLC in it. And with that, you load up a park and try to go to that park with DLC. But since you don't have that DLC, a message will pop up asking you to download the required DLC, in which you say no. And then you can just start building your park. When doing this glitch, the game doesn't track your last action that you did when making a park before merging. Let's say you made a half pipe and then merged it, that other half of the half pipe is no longer there. To counteract this, simply just create another action by placing an object or just changing the color of said object you last placed. When doing so, everything should look normal. Once you're done making your park, just move it to any public map. But there is a catch when moving it to a map. There are set places to where your skate park will be, so you can't choose the exact location in the district you want it in. Also, it depends on where you build your skate park into correlating to where you want it in the overworld. Meaning that skate parks and districts are kind of married together, like the PCU and skate school, and the backlot park to industrial. And those are the only two that work being on post-patch that I know of. If you want your parks to get moved anywhere else, you're gonna have to do the out of bounds method, meaning you have to make it pre-patch and have a DLC park without actually having the DLC installed. For example, build your park at Stadium, add your DLC part, save your park, quit the game and uninstall the DLC that you used, while also being in pre-patch, make a new skate park at the backlot, place a teleporter that goes start to end, doesn't matter where, then move to the park that you just created. But don't go to my park, you have to do it in the challenge map. Move to the map, gives notification, say yes, hit teleport, and the game should reload with your map being out of bounds. To get to your map, get into Park Builder, look directly at the sky, and exit out. Your map is now out of bounds. Let's set up a scenario. Let's say you're at a skate park online that you really liked, that wasn't yours, but it was your friend's, and your friend didn't upload it to the file shared, so you can download it. Fortunately enough, you managed to save a replay within that park. This replay allows you to steal this park and keep it as your own. There's a limit to how many replays you can save, so you want to make sure your replays are completely full where you cannot save another replay. You then want to go back to that replay where you had that clip in that one park. Open it up and try to save the clip again. The game will say that it's full. And then finally, you want to hit Skate Real Browser. It will try to open up the browser, but it will fail. But you will then be placed in the park to where that replay was saved. Once you completely exit out, you'll see a black screen. Simply hit Edit Park, and everything will be there. And for the last thing I want to talk about are tripod cameras. Not only does it have a secret Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 reference inside the lens, but it will lag your online lobby, even crashing it.
Are you joking me?
It already died! To do this glitch, setting up one tripod isn't going to lag the entire lobby. You're going to need to fill up the park with other objects in order to lag it more. No way, I crashed. What? You also have to be wary of your 360 friends, because their console will just freeze. In addition to lagging the lobby, you will also notice that the tripod is sitting on a disc. If you try to aim for that disc, you'll get the side camera effect, along with some triangles perhaps?
You just
Oh my goodness!
So, the cool thing is that PlayStation players, you don't have to worry about it. This glitch does not affect PlayStation. For whatever reason, your lobbies will not lag. And I have two possible explanations for this. One, that the ports are just completely different. Even though the game looks exactly the same, there might be some minor changes, just like how you can't stack balls on PS3, but you can on Xbox. Or my favorite tinfoil hat theory, that due to Xbox's backwards compatibility, servers suffer more from having to use the newer generation consoles. I only say this is because this glitch has not been documented pre-backwards compatibility era. In November of 2016, Microsoft launched their backwards compatibility for Xbox One. With it came Skate 3. And for a glitch that is so obvious for jumping on a camera, I highly doubt that glitch hunters missed this glitch. We had 6 years to document it and no one has. Either that, or when the servers were briefly up in 2018, it messed with everything because this person remembers this glitch happening on PS3 and now it no longer works. I'm no online expert, and neither is Helix, so if anyone actually has a proper explanation, please tell me and I'll pin the comment. And that is all I have for you today. Before I end the video, I want to make one quick PSA announcement. If you want to be a park building master like Dies, make sure to save your parks consistently.
No. Oh my.